Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here taking a look at Asdivine Hearts. This is from Kemco, who have been known for putting out RPGs on PSP and Vita for a while now. And, well, this is the first one they put on Vita. They put a bunch on PSP, and there's a bunch of these on mobile as well. I think this is a port of a mobile version? Can't be sure. So, there's not that much to see. You got options menu, and I really don't know what half of these are, because I turned off, like, battle effects and turned on battle shortcut, and it didn't seem to make a difference. Sound volume, your skill order, and you can reset everything to default. It's also worth noting that you can change the difficulty in-game if you feel the need. I've been playing on normal, which is the one they recommend for a decent challenge, and it's really not. I've got a pretty good reason for that, and we'll get into it very shortly. We're just gonna have to leave the city and go through a cutscene first. I'll do you all a favor and save you all the menus and stuff for a couple of minutes. I'll have a look at the battle system first and all that before we do. But trust me, there's a very good reason. There's a very good reason why I'm doing that. So we get a little bit of a cutscene here. There's no voices or anything. Some people get like little 2D graphics on the right side, but they're not very impressive. In fact, the whole game doesn't really look that impressive at all. It's a bit of a problem this entire game has in pretty much everything that it does. It really doesn't seem to have anything of its own style. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's just, everything feels ridiculously generic, which is, it's weird. Like, you'd think they'd add their own little flavor somewhere. But no, everything feels surprisingly generic. So here we are on the overworld, and it's pretty basic. You wander around, you've got an overworld map. I've got a quest down there. I'll go do that, and then we'll turn around and head right back. You'll understand why very soon, but considering that the random encounter rate is actually really high, I'm taking massive amounts of damage. That's not right. Considering that the random encounter rate is really high, we'll be seeing plenty of fights before we get around to actually getting to where we're going. So, the battle system in this game is pretty simple. You've got formations that I actually haven't applied one yet. That's great. I thought I applied that before I saved the game, but apparently not. So you've got you've got skills, which can be used using energy bars, like the purple energy bars down the bottom there are what determines that. And you've also got the trust gauge, which does a super magic attack. I just healed an enemy. Why was I able to do that? God almighty. Oh man. Right, so yeah, you've got skills and you've got magic, and magic runs via MP, obviously, and of course you can guard, you can use items, and you can do semi-automatic, which is basically just do whatever the AI thinks is best. And you can, well, I mean, that's pretty much it, actually. You can attack your own people, which I really do not understand why that's a thing. But anyway, that battle's over. It was over pretty quick. Learned a new skill, leveled up a couple of people. And we're gonna have another one in like 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. I actually guessed it, who would have thought? Yeah, the random encounter rate in this game is really over the top, which really sucks, because you seriously spend an absolute ton of time playing these battles, and the majority of these battles go over the same way pretty much. It's just either hammer the attack button or hammer your skills, because you get an absolute ton of skill uses just by playing through normally. So you end up just spamming skills because they do massive amounts of damage and don't really come at any cost to you, which kind of sucks. But anyway, this is the next story area. We aren't going to be staying here, as I said earlier, but I'm going to let the cutscene play out. Maybe I'll say some stuff over the top of it, but other than that, it's, yeah, there's some of the 2D art for you. You'll be seeing the majority of the characters here. The writing isn't particularly great. I'm only 2 hours in. I admit that. I didn't want to play anymore, so I'm just doing this video because I really cannot be bothered to take this much further than I already have. And it's I'm probably not pausing long enough to let you read this whole text, so I'm just gonna try and delayed myself a little bit. But yeah, it's still not very good writing. There's not that much going on in the story as far as I'm aware. That's a pretty bad thing to say. But yeah, 2 hours in and I really have no idea what I'm doing or where I'm going. They have told me that basically some gods have been having fights up in the heavens, but other than that, not much else has happened. Also, apparently this god that's embedded in this kitten's body apparently is learning from the humans. I hate that trope. I really do. It makes no sense. You'd think a all-powerful god would know all about all the shit they want to say. But anyway, you would think the all-powerful gods would know what the humans are going to tell them. But anyway, we're not going in there. You want to know why? Difficulty spike. Massive difficulty spike. I'm talking about everyone in my party will get one hit with the best armor and best weapons. Difficulty spike. In comparison to most of the battles that I've been playing up to this point, which are literally just, you know, hit them a couple of times, they fall over. Oh, limit break. So I just get to pick, like, what attacks I want to use and who I want to use them on. And so yeah, it really happens in the worst possible place just because I had to do it on just a regular monster there. I've fought like 2 bosses at this point, and I wasn't lucky enough to get a limit break in either of them. It feels random. The game does have a big help window that lets you see all that. I'm going in the wrong direction. But basically, I'm heading towards an earlier area side quest just to get some levels. But to be fair, I'm not planning on playing this much more than I already have, so... Oh, well. Yep, I just hit my own teammate. Because you would think that just using a regular attack, yeah, I can't hit them. So you would think the game would be like, oh no, you probably don't want to attack your own person right now. I mean, a little bit of context sensitivity would be nice. I mean, there are moments where they can be like charmed and you can hit them in the face to like get them back out of their bloody, whatever the hell you call it, their trance. But you would think that they wouldn't let you attack if there wasn't something like that going on. It's so stupid. But anyway. Gotta check the map just to make sure I know where I'm going. Yeah, I've definitely gone the wrong direction. As far as I'm aware, there's no rappel, and there's another battle going on now. Oh man, yep, this is just how it goes. This battle system is just horrendous at times. Just because you have to just go through it again and again and again. The battles are over really quick, and then they start up yet another one. There are some different things going on in this fight, though, so I might as well stick around and see if I can actually, you know, do anything with this. So the idea is that that barrel there, if I destroy that barrel, it will bring something out. It might be an item, it might be an enemy, and I can't be sure until I've taken it out, which is a pain, but, you know, that's kind of what they have in mind. And that rock will let you mine Asdivine points. And Asdivine points feel like something they've carried over from a, Asdivine points feel like something they've carried over from a, what's it called? From a mobile game. Oh great, Stella's gone down. Well, she's not down, but she's paralyzed, because of course she is. Let's heal her up. Do I have anything I can do? Yeah, just try and take out the giant-ass butterfly. But anyways, the rock there, yeah, you mine that to get Asdivine points, right. It really does feel like something taken out of a mobile game. I think it might have come from this game's actual mobile version. I could be wrong. To be fair, I'm pretty much always wrong when it comes to this sort of thing. Alright, the barrel, I got a skill jelly. Okay. That's alright. I don't even know what it is, but I'll deal with it. Let's not attack that. Let's use some magic. The magic doesn't really look that much different. Shadow Flame. 44 MP for that. Also, she just got knocked flat on her ass. Good lord. Okay, now that she's dead, we can just get some attacks on this pain in the ass witch, and leaving the rock behind just... what's the word I'm looking for? Leaving the rock behind just ends the battle. That's how that works. So, while I'm here, I might as well check out the menus. You've got your items and your equipment. It's all pretty obvious, so yeah, you just equip different weapons and different armors. You can also equip Rubixes, which I'll get to very shortly. You've got magic for everybody, you've got quests, so you've got both story and sub-quests. It's pretty obvious stuff. You can use your Asdivine points to buy special equipment, and there's a bunch of stuff here. There's, you get more experience, you get more gold, you get more stats, you get different kinds of items that are really useful, but they have massive point requirements, so you have to be going on for quite a while to get enough points to get that through. I imagine there'll be some, well, is there microtransactions in this game? I'm half tempted. No, I'm not gonna check. I'm not gonna bother. Formation. Basically, you just set up your formation however you please. So yeah, let's see, rear guard. Is that RA? Is that what RA means? I don't know. But yeah, you can check your formation and get a little bit of a stat boost from that. The help system just tells you everything you need to know, and apparently there's also an airship, because of course there is. It's a frickin', like, blender of an RPG, so there you go. This is the only slightly original thing among the whole game, and even then it's been done by multiple RPGs before, but the basic idea is that you have these gem boxes, and you can put as many of these things you can fit in as humanly possible. So I'll just try and fit a few random ones in to just demonstrate the purpose of this. Right, so that one goes in there, and then we'll put in another... No, that HP jewel won't fit. I'll just give her another speed jewel. So yeah, that's how that works. They're just a certain amount of squares, you just fill them in, and they give you stat boosts. That's basically it. So let's go and try and do this side quest. I just need to remember what direction to go in. Alright, so I come up and around, and then I just follow all the way back through. This is a bit weird too, like, from Orcus Village, which is the last city I went to, all the way to Gutenberg, there's nothing in the middle there. So that's like 25% of the map, which is literally just used for a long walk with a few fights. I don't really know what they're getting at there. It's really strange. But anyway. So we're doing yet another battle. I'm just going to hit triangle and go into square and go into auto mode. Because why the hell not? Not like I've got anything better to do. I'm doing pretty much the same thing anyway. So yeah, battle system. Quite boring. Just because they put you up against so many goddamn enemies, it just gets ridiculous. You can't take like 5 steps in sometimes without getting absolutely overwhelmed with random spawns. It's kind of silly. Where am I going now? Okay, just go straight to the right and go up. Seriously, there's nothing here. This game feels like... as I said earlier with like that little idea of a blender, the idea seems to be that they've taken pretty much everything you might expect from your older RPGs, like, just, you know, your Final Fantasies, your Dragon Quests, your, well, yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. I was gonna say Secret of Mana, but those games are actually thoroughly different, so, yeah. They just take all of, like, those old style of things and all the other NES RPGs and no one ever remembers, throws them into a blender, blends them together, and then somehow manages to suck all the flavor out. Like, I'm not sure... I mean, it's kind of a thing, like, you have to actually play a game to understand, but every game tends to have a specific flavor, where they do things in a very particular way, and it makes it feel like that game just in general, right? I know it's a very hard... It's kind of a hard concept to explain, but at the same time, if you've been playing games for long enough, you'll know exactly what's going on when I say that. Basically, this game's got no flavor of its own. It really does feel like just an amalgamation of everything that came before it. The problem being that it's not really doing a very good job of being an amalgamation, so... I thought my down in that direction was stuck there for a second. My D-pad's been acting a little bit weird lately, but I don't think it'll be a problem. I hope not. God, I only got this thing repaired like 6 months ago. That would be insane. But yeah, the enemies are getting weaker as we're getting along here. I really don't know what the deal is with the difficulty spike back there in the temple, which is literally one-hit killing everyone in my party. And when you come across like 4 or 5 monsters at once and they all get to move before you do because it's a higher level, yeah, it's just a grind wall. That's basically all it is. I just have to sit and grind for a bit, and I really cannot be bothered. But anyway, I'm in here looking for something. I'm not entirely sure what, but it'll probably be just a glowing thing on the ground like the last side quest I did. Probably not much else to it, really. Okay, so we got a preemptive strike, but I'm just gonna let him automatically take care of business anyway. Trust gauge fills up really slowly. Like, even when I was going up against the high level things and just barely getting through by the skin of my teeth, I wasn't getting much on that trust gauge. It says when you take damage, you're supposed to gain meter for the trust gauge, but it really does take ages, especially when you're fighting things that can do 500 damage in one hit. They're bloody nuts. I know the game's probably thinking, oh ho ho, the tables are turned, but no, it's not fun to have such a huge difficulty increase right there and then, especially when I'm basically just steamrolling everything. I could put the difficulty down to easy, but at the same time, having to do it so early on for such a heavy difficulty spike just seems absolutely ridiculous to me. Just see if I can find what it is I'm looking for. It looks like there may be a secret passage on the right side here. I'll just have to go and see if I can actually find the damn thing. Nope. Oh well. And this way actually leads, no, this is actually the way back out. It's up here, isn't it? I played this cave like half an hour ago, and I can't bloody remember the layout of it. This is how just uninterested I am. There's really nothing of interest going on at all. Well, so apparently some things can counter and some things can't. I'm not entirely sure what the cause of that is. Maybe you have to guard to do it. Can't be sure. There's also apparently a, There's also apparently... Oop, better watch those bottles. Boulders. And I completely forgot what I was going to say. That's great. There really isn't that much else to see, though. It really is just a... Yep. Yep, this is going to be a boss fight, so we'll just save the game here, just to be safe. Not like I'm going to be playing this game again, but oh well. Right, I should probably walk on that thing and get my health and stuff back. Not like I need it, I've been doing great, but anyway. Let's try to snag them without waking the beast. We all know this isn't going to work. There it is. One thing I need to point out, now that my mind's on it, the music and the sound effects are terrible. Like, seriously, it sounds like they've managed to just massively compress them. The game's really, really small in the sense that it's, like, small size-wise, but it's just weird. Like, really weird just how compressed some of it sounds. Like, the wandering around, like, the main battle theme, like the one you've heard a few times around, it's just horrid. It sounds really bad coming out of the Vita speakers. It's not great. Really not. Should probably use some of my magic. Molecular shot. Skills get less powerful the more you use them in one fight, which is, you know, I imagine they'd have to do that just to make them, you know, make battles not entirely spam worthy, but at the same time, this guy's half dead, and I'm not even trying. Although I'm probably going to want to heal up my mates just before they all go down on me. Shadow Flame, why not? See if I can steal a jewel from him. Okay, so yeah, that gives me, that's something that'll let me do, like, paralysis on regular attacks. It really isn't that interesting. Crossblade again. Another twin paralyzer. And she's down. Thankfully I do have a revive jelly. And we're gonna end this fight, like, right now, so thankfully I won't need to use a healing item for them. That wasn't even much XP. Good lord. But yeah, I just beat the crap out of that monster. And away it goes again. Also, the cutscenes run at like half a frame rate. Half the frame rate. Seriously, they run at like 15. It's weird. Like, just pay attention to how slow the animations are. Now look at how fast they are. How weird is that? I legitimately don't know what they're going for there. It's just strange. Alright, while I'm on my way back to the town, I'm probably going to get into one more fight. And when I do, I keep forgetting which way it is. When I do, we'll end this video, because there's really not that much else to see. So, Asdivine Hearts is just a bit boring. It really is. It just doesn't do anything even remotely interesting as an RPG. It pulls from everything and therefore feels like nothing but just an amalgamation of them. It doesn't really add its own flavor or its own styling to the genre. It just does everything everybody else already does, and it just bores the shit out of me. I do not want to play this anymore. It's not very often that I don't want to play an RPG, actively don't want to play an RPG after 2 hours. Like, I might be a little bit disenfranchised if I don't like the game, but this just isn't doing very well at all. Also, this is the village. Very hard to see. I actually stumbled into it by accident. I didn't even see it the first time. That was weird. And yeah, we'll just take it over to here, I believe. Yep, that's him. So yep, we gave him the nuts, and now he gives us something. Speed plus 4 jewel. That really wasn't worth the effort. See, that was not worth it. That was not worth the time. Oh yeah, you got gem synthesis here, but I didn't actually have the gems to make this work. Like, see, I can't do anything with any of the gems I have, so there's really no point. So, yeah. That was a look at Asdivine Hearts. Not really worth your time, and even worse is that they're charging $15 for the PlayStation version, but they're only charging $10 for the PC version. And thank God I got a review code for this, because if I didn't, I'd be feeling quite ripped off. So yeah, I would not recommend. Sorry. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.